Hi, welcome to another exciting class in basic technology. My name is Gordon Christian. Our topic for today is isometric drawing. And our theme for today is drawing practice. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define isometric drawing and also use drawing instruments to draw simple isometric objects. Drawing is a way of describing information from one person to another with the aid of diagrams, images, by using drawing instruments like pen, crayon, etc. There are images or diagrams that seems to be multi-dimensional because of the shape and size. These drawings are mostly in 2 or 3-dimensional way. It is used by planners, manufacturers to know the exact shape and size of an object. This drawing is simply called isometric drawing. This image is a typical example of what an isometric drawing looks like. Now you may wonder, what is isometric drawing? Have you ever tried to draw an object in a 2 or 3-dimensional shape, like a cube or a box? This is where isometric drawing is very important. Now, what is isometric drawing? Isometric drawing is simply a way of describing or representing objects in 2 or 3-dimensional way. It is used by engineers to describe how an object looks like, showing the various shapes, size, and views. Isometric drawing helps to explain further how the object should be positioned while erecting or constructing them. From this image, these are typical examples of isometric drawing. Now, it is important to know that there are so many advantages of isometric drawing. Now, let's see these advantages. There are so many advantages of isometric drawing, but let's take a few. Isometric drawing gives a clear picture of an object. With isometric drawing, all sides of the object can be viewed properly. Difficult objects with complex shapes and sizes can be easily interpreted and understood using isometric drawing. These drawings are used by engineers to describe the various shapes and sizes of an object because it gives a clear picture of what the object looks like. But for you to draw effectively, there are rules that you must follow for you to achieve good results. Let's see these rules. For this class, rule number 1 states that objects should be drawn using vertical and horizontal lines. 2. Vertical lines stay vertical, but horizontal lines are drawn at 30 degrees to the vertical plane. 3. Angles between all the 3 axes must be 120 degrees. Another rule is this: ensure your set squares are properly aligned with your ruler. And the last rule, all drawings must show the top, the front view, the side views, and the back view. With these rules followed, isometric drawing can be done properly. Now let's look at some illustrations for us to have a better understanding on how isometric drawing can be done properly. Now let's see how to construct objects in isometric drawing. The first thing you do is to draw horizontal line. Then the next thing you do, pick your 30-degree set square. Call this point 0. It is the origin. Place your set square properly aligned on your T-square. Draw your diagonal line. Make sure your line is straight. Place your set square in the opposite direction on the right-hand side. Also draw your diagonal line at 30 degrees. You can measure the line to know the dimension of the line. From my measurement, my line is 80 mm. And my line on the right hand side is 45 mm, which is millimeter. Pick your 45-degree set square, properly aligned on your T-square. Draw a vertical line upward. Call this point point A, and this other point B. Pick your 45-degree set square, project lines from the origin 0 upward, and ensure you measure the line. From my measurement, the line is 15 millimeters. The next thing you do is to measure the line from point A. I am taking 30 millimeters. Then join the line from this point to join the line at A. The next thing you do also, project lines from this point towards B. Pick your 45-degree set square and join the line. Going on, pick your ruler and measure the first point. My measurement from the first point is 15 millimeters. My second point is 10 millimeters. And my last point also is 15 millimeters. Measure the line from A. Ensure your pencil is properly sharpened to avoid double lines. Draw a line from this point down. Also measure 15 millimeters for it to be the same with the initial one. My measurement is 15 millimeters. Measure also 10 millimeters. And lastly, 15 millimeters. Your measurement behind must be equal to a measurement before. The next thing you do is to join the lines together. Carefully join the lines together. The next thing you do, pick your 45-degree set square. Ensure your T-square is properly aligned on your drawing board. You can call this point point C. Project lines from point C upward. You can call this other point D. Also project lines from D upward. And also measure the lines. My measurement so far is 10 millimeters. The next thing you do is to join the lines together. Going on, join the lines from point C down to the line from point A. Carefully join the line. Avoid double line. can call this point E and call this other point F. Join your line also from D down to F. You can call this other point G. And the final thing you need to do for it to have a complete object is to join the line from B to G. For you to have a clean and accurate work, you need to remove the excesses by using your eraser to clean the unwanted parts. You can see that this is a perfect drawing using isometric drawing. When drawing objects in isometric drawing, you must focus on what you are drawing. Avoid distractions. Pay attention to what you are drawing for you to achieve good results. This is a typical example of an object in isometric drawing. Don't forget, the horizontal lines are drawn using 30 degrees. Let's move to the next object in isometric drawing. Ensure your pencil is properly sharpened to avoid double line. Ensure your drawing paper is well placed on the drawing board. You can use your T-square, your masking tape, your clip to glue your drawing paper with your drawing board. Ensure the surface is flat to avoid errors. Let's construct another object in isometric drawing. Like I told you earlier, ensure your T-square is properly placed on your drawing board. The first thing you do is to draw horizontal line. Make sure your line is straight. The next thing you do, pick your 30 degrees set square. Locate a point on the horizontal line. Place your set square directly at that point. Draw line on the horizontal. Repeat same procedure in the opposite direction by drawing line on the right hand side. Pick your 45 degrees set square. Place it at the midpoint. Project lines upward. Call this point 0, which is your origin. The next thing you do is to measure the line to know the actual size or dimension of your line. My measurement here is 80 millimeter. Locate the point. You can call your point A. Also measure on the right hand axis. Locate the point also. You can call your point B. Then also measure on the vertical line, which is placed at the midpoint. My measurement is 15 millimeter. Locate the point. The next thing you do, you pick your 30 degree set square with the aid of your T-square. Place it at this point. Ensure your T-square is properly aligned on your drawing board. Then draw a line on the left-hand side. Repeat same procedure on the right-hand side. The next thing you need to do is to project lines from point A upward. With the aid of your T-square, carefully slide the T-square upward. Project lines upward from point A. Ensure your T-square is properly aligned on your drawing paper. The next thing you need to do is to measure 15 millimeter backward. With the aid of your T-square also, project lines upward. Join the lines together for you to have a perfect line at the midpoint. Ensure your line is visible. You can remove this with the aid of your eraser. Avoid double line for you to have accurate results. The next thing you need to do is to project line upward from point B. Also join the line from the origin to touch the projected line at B. The next thing you need to do is to use your 30-degree set square and join the line from this point to this point to this point. You can call here A1. Place your set square properly at A1. Draw a line. Repeat same procedure by placing your set square at B. Join the line. You can remove the excesses by using your eraser. You can call this point point C. The next thing you need to do is to project line from point C upward. Carefully slide your T-square upward for you to have the perfect alignment. With the aid of your set square, project line upward. The next thing you need to do is to project line upward from point A1. Measure 15 millimeter backward. Repeat same thing on this other line. With the aid of your set square, carefully slide your t-square upward. Join the lines together. You can remove the excesses with your eraser. The next thing you need to do is to project line from this point. You can call this point D, and this other point E. With the aid of your t-square and your set square, project line from point D to touch C. For accuracy, ensure your line is properly drawn. The next thing you need to do also is to project line from E. And finally, the next thing you need to do is to join the lines together. You can call this point F and this point G. This is a simple way of constructing objects in isometric drawing. For you to achieve good results, your pencil must be properly sharpened, your set square must be in good shape, and your drawing paper must be properly aligned on your drawing board with the aid of your T-square or a masking tape. This will be all for now. Welcome back. I hope the illustration gave you a better understanding on isometric drawing. This is where we'll come to the end of the class. But before we go, let's take a quick summary of what we've learned so far. We learned that isometric drawing helps to give a clear picture of an object. We also learned that with isometric drawing, objects can be easily understood because it shows all the views of the object. Next, we learned that engineers use isometric drawings because difficult and large drawings can be easily drawn and interpreted. And lastly, when constructing isometric drawing, there are things you must do. 1. Angles between all the three axes must be 120 degrees. Secondly, ensure all the views are shown. Thirdly, properly align your set squares with your T-square. And lastly, ensure the horizontal lines are drawn at 30 degrees to the vertical plane. So let's go on to test what we've learned so far on isometric drawing with few questions. Question 1. In isometric drawings, horizontal lines must be drawn at dash to the vertical plane. A. 30 degrees, B. 60 degrees, or C. 45 degrees. The correct answer is A. 30 degrees. Question 2. When constructing isometric drawings, all angles between the three axes must be at dash. A. 90 degrees, B. 60 degrees, or C. 120 degrees. The correct answer is C. 120 degrees. This will be all for now. I believe you now know what isometric drawing is all about and how to construct shapes and objects using isometric drawing. See you next time. Bye-bye.